I always say on this channel that as delusional as parts of the MAGA base are in the United States, we've got UK MAGA supporters just as detached from reality. In this clip, a Donald Trump superfan calls into LBC to defend Trump's actions. Let's watch the clip first, then I'll give you my thoughts at the end. If you're glad I brought you this, give the video a thumbs up.
Hi. I've been listening to your program, and it's beginning to sound like the Labour Broadcasting Corporation. Everybody's phoning in, denigrating Donald Trump, whom I think is possibly one of the best strategists of the 21st century. I think that he's saving the world from what would have been terrorists armed with nuclear weapons, and people are deriding him. Keir Starmer, on the other hand, has been asked to help with the Straits of Hormuz because they believe there may be mines there. Nobody is saying anything about the 6 Royal Navy mine sweepers that were scheduled for decommissioning. They're in a state of disrepair. There's 6 of them. And the government have decided to invest the money that would have been used, which is $2.5 billion, to sort out those mine sweepers by investing in a beta, a test thing where they will be hopefully detecting mines, but it's not ready to go yet.
Okay. John, do you mind if I just separate your 2 points? Firstly, on the President of the United States being the greatest strategist of the 21st century, what was the strategy to end this conflict with Iran? What's the end point of this conflict?
Before going into Iran, he went into the greatest country as far as oil resources go, which is Venezuela, and he's taken control of the oil fields there.
Right.
Now, that is where most of the heavy oil for China and Russia comes. So they can't prosecute a war. Taiwan or Russia is now actually having problems with fuel for its domestic use. They're having to import refined petroleum.
And this is a great point about Venezuela and the Venezuelans providing China in particular with oil. I agree. But can we focus on Iran? And as the greatest strategist of the 21st century, in your opinion, what was the strategy to get out of this war with Iran, to stop the escalation that would see a regional conflict or wider? What's the plan?
Well, the plan was that there is actually a plan B that nobody is talking about.
Okay, what's the plan B?
The fact is that Saudi Arabia, the UAE, the Arab Emirates have actually developed pipelines that are in place in case of this type of emergency that is capable of delivering 7 million barrels a day of oil to tankers that will then not have to go through the Straits of Hormuz. I mean, that's a big plus point. The fact is...
Well, where is that happening, John? So my listeners can... the people listening to the programme can rest at ease knowing that petrol prices are going to come down imminently because the Saudis are going to be pumping 7 million barrels of oil a day through the pipes that you say are the Americans' plan B.
No, absolutely not. The world use per day is 20 billion
So, John,
barrels.
Again, let's come back to the strategy that you say Donald Trump is resting upon that means he's the greatest strategist of the 21st century, and the strategy for exit from the war with Iran was?
Going to obliterate their ability to up nuclear weapons and threaten Europe
that's the purpose.
And America.
I agree that's the purpose of one of the purposes that Trump has outlined for the war. They may have done that to a greater or lesser extent, don't know. But now that there is a blockage in the Strait of Hormuz, and now that there are missiles raining down on Gulf neighbours, what's the plan, as you understand it to be, from the Americans to get this to stop?
I think the plan must have been very much like in World War II when Sir Winston Churchill actually developed a department called the SOE. SOE was, in World War II, a department that trained people to liaise with the...
Do you see such an offering from the Americans at the moment?
I think that the obvious way to deal with the failing Iranian clerical government at the moment is to arm the Iranians that actually used to call themselves Persians, and they were members
and how is
of
that?
a free
How is that
state.
going, John? How are the Iranians arming the civilian population of Iran to go and rise up against the remnants of that theocratic?
The problem you have with that is the Iranian clerics and their IRGC have actually eradicated 40,000 Iranians for protesting.
So, John, the plan that you say the president is relying upon, the one that we should have joined in with as part of our obligations to the alliance with America, that strategy has moved from Saudi's pipelines to Europe with 7 million barrels a day, arming the Iranians, which isn't happening, some rebuffed version of a World War II department to go and sort this out diplomatically, which doesn't have any... That's not happening.
You obviously don't understand what the SOE was. The SOE...
I don't care, because it's not happening. Where are you getting this idea of a strategy from?
Well, he's already prevented China from going to war with Taiwan. He's limited the heavy oil usage from Russia for its own use to perpetrate the war in Ukraine. I think that's a brilliant move in itself.
And on Iran?
Russians are now having to import refined fuel.
And on Iran?
On Iran, we are only a short way into the war. Iran's ability to defend itself
it was going to be finished. You said it was going to be done in a couple of weeks. That it's going to be short, and you think it's a short one? That we're only a short way in?
I never heard him say it's going to be done in a couple of weeks.
Oh, well, John, you've not been listening, my friend. This was going to be done in a couple of weeks. The president said only the other week. And yet you've coupled together a strategy that the American president has not outlined, has never detailed, that none of the American administration have come up with. You've got something else. I mean, it's a good effort. Maybe they'll be on the phone to you, John, for a strategy. But the idea that this shows that Trump is the greatest strategist of the 21st century...
So, as I always say on this channel, what's happening with MAGA in the United States isn't just an American problem. We've got people saying the same things here in the UK. That caller claiming Donald Trump never said it's only going to be a couple of weeks just shows how detached from reality some of these people are. And when Tom Swarbrick challenged him, he had no answer. Instead, he resorted to saying Tom didn't know what he was talking about. It's embarrassing. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Give the video a thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next one.